Hello from Global Sports Report. The Zika virus is claiming more Olympic casualties as the Rio Games approach. The virus, which has engulfed parts of South America and Brazil specifically, is causing some top sporting names to pull out. But some international golfers are being accused of using the virus as an excuse to avoid the Games.
I get where different people come from and different people have different opinions. But I'm very happy with the decision that I've made, and I have no regrets about it. And I'll probably watch the Olympics, but I'm not sure golf will be one of the events I'll watch.
Which events will you watch in that case?
Probably the events that track and field, swimming, diving, the stuff that matters.
What do you think, Eddie?
Look, Rory McIlroy has come out and clearly said, and he said this a few times, that as a youngster growing up, he didn't think about the Rio Olympics. He didn't think about any Olympics. He thought about the green jacket, which you get for winning the Masters, and claret jugs, which is the other trophy you get. That's all they thought about. It's not an Olympic sport. I think that the IOC are trying to push it as an Olympic sport because golfers have the star power name. At the time, obviously, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Ernie Els. Yeah. That's the golfers that were around when they really tried to push it.
Definitely.
And those golfers were interested. These golfers just simply aren't. And I think they should maybe look at withdrawing it. If 8 out of the top 10 golfers don't want to be there, and they're using the Zika virus as an excuse, which we don't know, I think it's an excuse to not be there. Why make them be there? There's other tournaments that are trying to get there, like squash. They have tried for years and can't get in there. Wrestling, they want to remove, that wants to be there. So why they push for golf? There's an underlying thing that IOC are doing, and it's because it generates money. And that's all it is. If it didn't generate money, they wouldn't be pushing golfers to be there.
Justin Rose is going to be representing Team GB. He's a big name in the world of golf, and he's very much for it. Very much saying, I want to come home with an Olympic gold medal. And that's kind of that should be an incentive, surely, coming home with that Olympic gold medal.
I don't know, when all said and done in your career as a golfer, that you put your Masters jacket there, you put your claret and jug jacket for winning claret and jug for winning the Open, and then you put the Olympic gold as I don't think you do it. I remember clearly when Roger Federer got beat by Andy Murray at the 2012 Olympics. I've seen Roger Federer lose semi-finals and finals, and he's distraught. He lost to Andy Murray, and it was almost a smile and a congratulations, like, oh, well done. I don't think the top players in other sports really care too much about it. Same with basketball. America, a few superstars from America, NBA have decided not to go. LeBron James has kind of said, I don't want to go. Steph Curry, Golden State Warriors, said, I don't want to go. So top achievers in other sports don't look at the Olympic Games as their be-all and end-all, what the likes of athletics and swimming do. Olympics can't just force these sports and sports stars to somehow put Olympics as a priority when they don't want to.
Olympics purely be more about the minority sports then, your gymnastics, your swimming, and track and field, because track and field, the funding for track and field is nothing in the likes of golf, basketball, soccer, if you want to call it soccer. It's not in the same league, is it? So the Olympics should serve perhaps as a platform for those sports rather than the other big boys.
100%. You look at someone like Usain Bolt. Look, Usain Bolt made his name from the Olympics.
Yeah.
And that's what it does. It propels you. Once you do something in the Olympics, it propels you. Tom Daley. People had never heard of Tom Daley before. Again, the Olympics, it propels sports that are kind of not into the bigger world, not on TV every other single week, and it propels those superstars. The other superstars are already superstars. They don't need us to propel them. And I think let's kind of focus on the sports that are there and make them bigger and make their athletes earn some real good money. There's a lot of athletes in the Olympics that are part-time athletes. Without the Olympics, there is no fund and there is no sport for them. Focus on those. Don't focus on the millionaire superstars that don't want to turn up. Focus on the ones that do want to turn up and make them household names rather than ones that are already household names that simply don't want to go.
Going to the sort of smaller time athletes, if you like, and the minority sports on there. The equipment and the funding that they can get from being part of the Olympics is almost crucial to their livelihood, isn't it? So, getting the branding and the endorsement deals and the platform to showcase their sport to the world, that's where it matters, really, isn't it?
Yeah, if they don't get Olympic funding, they just don't exist. And if they don't, I say don't exist, they're not able to get the right training, the right strength and condition coaches. It goes to that kind of basic stuff. They don't get Olympic funding, they don't have that kind of, we're going to win Olympic gold. That doesn't happen. So it's important to them to get everything they can out of the Olympics. Now, a lot of these athletes, once they're told they're going to Olympics, endorsements just come straight through like that.
They do.
And it opens the door for new endorsements. Rory McIlroy, Jason Day, do they need endorsements? They turn endorsements down.
Exactly.
They don't need any more, and I think that's where it's got to draw the line. We need to look at the minority sports, as you say, the people that we don't know about, boost those up so they can become superstars, and then you never know for 2020.
Adi, Ernest, thank you very much indeed for that. Stay with us as we move on to talk about the world's richest sports club, and you'll be surprised at some of the ones on the top of the list. Now, the Forbes Rich List has been released, and among the categories to stir debate is the world's most wealthy sports teams. For the first time, a soccer team hasn't come top. The honour goes to the NFL's Dallas Cowboys with a value of $4 billion. Real Madrid of La Liga are second with $3.65 billion, and Barcelona third with $3.55 billion. And the NFL have done a lot to one, bring on the game in the States, but also to develop it into a massive money-making machine, haven't they? And the Dallas Cowboys are part of the operation there. There are so many other franchises which make billions too. Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys have this fantastic new stadium as well, which obviously generates more income. You've got to go to America on a Sunday to experience what an NFL game is like. The streets are quiet. I mean, NFL runs America on a Sunday. There's nothing else. I was reading it recently where you don't put boxing on the Sunday, you don't put anything else on a Sunday because NFL will take that whole reach. And it just doesn't stem from NFL. It kind of goes down to college football as well. College football's massive in America, and then it goes on to NFL. College football generates income. College football generates TV revenue. So can you imagine what NFL would do? I'm shocked by it. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm shocked because, yes, America has this big reach, but it's just America. And you kind of think of football as being whole of Europe, China, America as well, now Major League Soccer. Dallas Cowboys as well haven't won the Super Bowl since 1995. So it's not like they're this team that have just gone on a run and winning every trophy out there. They've not won anything for 21 years. And they're still the number one. So I'm shocked by it, but I expect NBA to be there soon. There is a few, I think, like you said, New York Knicks, LA Lakers. They'll be up there between 1 and 2 soon because they're going to get sponsorships on jerseys, which they've never had
Very
before.
true.
So you can imagine the money that's going to generate from that. I mean, Man United are only there because of their Adidas deal. So you can imagine the money the New York Knicks are going to get for Chevrolet on their jersey or anything like that. It's going to be ridiculous. So expect them to be right. Don't forget as well, with NFL and NBA coming over here now on a regular basis.
NFL's getting big here.
NFL's getting big here on the Wembley. You can't get a ticket, love nor money once they play here. NBA play at the O2 Arena as well. So as much as they are American sports, they are trying to bring themselves across Europe because they know there's a big fan base here, and I think they've seen it. So don't expect, I mean, it won't be too long as a European NFL league, I believe so. And there's obviously a European NBA league, but it's not that big. But a European NFL league will just make it even bigger. So I think that's ways to generate more income as well for the NFL.
Very true. So Euro 2016 is over and Portugal have been crowned champions. But now that the dust has settled on the tournament, questions are being asked as to how a team that came third in their qualifying group still managed to make it to the final and lift the trophy. After all, Portugal and their star player Cristiano Ronaldo finished 15th out of the 16 teams to advance to the knockout stages, and Portugal's goal difference was 0. Sure. Well, Adi, when it comes to increasing the number of teams, so an extra 8 this time around, did that have a real marked difference on the standard of play, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I remember when we all was together and we spoke about the World Cup, and they increased the number of teams at the World Cup, and we got some thrilling games. We got Japan beating South Africa, if I remember correctly. And some other standout games as well, the introduction of teams like Romania. And so I don't think so. I mean, look, we wouldn't have seen Northern Ireland get through to the knockout stage if that was the case. Republic of Ireland, again, Wales probably, so it showed us that there are some other teams in Europe. It's far too long has it been the likes of Italy and Germany and let's see some new breed and new blood, and I think Iceland showed that as well.
And Hungary as well.
And Hungary, exactly. Well. There you go. So I think that wasn't the problem. I think the problem was this third place for the best third place teams going through, and that's what Portugal was. I think that was a problem. So it's almost like you could practically do nothing in your group and still get through to the knockout stage, which kind of Portugal did. But I'm with you. I think there's a case of starting slow and getting better as you go along. And I think Portugal knocked out Croatia. Croatia were many people's dark horses to win the whole tournament. They were. Portugal done that. They beat France quite convincingly, I thought, without one of the world's best players. So it wasn't all doom and gloom. It wasn't the best tournament, let's not lie. Sometimes I wonder these massive seasons where players are playing 65, 60, 70 games a season now, it is just too much. And then, 2-3 weeks rest and then having to play a tournament like this where games are every 3 or 4 days. That's a lot to do. That's a lot on your legs.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure, but in terms of adding other European teams, I think it's a good thing. I think it stretches Europe a bit more to show there are other football nations here. And I think that's a great thing. And I think long should that be lauded. I just didn't like the idea of, these third place finishes. I think that's silly. But apart from that, not a bad team. There seems to be a big disrespect from the bigger nations to the smaller nations. Every time a smaller... I remember when Greece won it.
Yeah.
Greece won it. It's almost like, oh, there must be a review of this. How can Greece win this tournament? How dare one of our big nations not win? And now same thing with Portugal. Like, how dare the Germans or the French not win it? What's happened?
Yeah.
There must be something wrong.
Well, even the Portuguese at the start, when I think Iceland drew with them, even Ronaldo was just like, oh, well, they're only a small nation.
Yeah, like,
I can't
what the
believe
hell?
that.
Yeah.
It's their biggest day in their history, or something along
And
the
I
lines.
think there's a big disrespectful thing there.
Yeah,
Like England losing to Iceland.
Yeah.
As though England should just go there and beat Iceland because, well, we're England and they're Iceland with only a small population. Doesn't work like that anymore. Every single team has a star player. If you look at the tournament, every team has a star player or someone that's known in there. And there can always be shocks. And Portugal have a star player, but beyond that, there's not much in that Portugal. So I think they've done a real good job of doing this so far and getting so far and winning the tournament. And I think they should be applauded rather than look at kind of where it's gone wrong and how were Portugal able to win. They won it because they won it.
And
it kind of reminds me of what we spoke about earlier with the Olympic Games, where you have these players that no one knows, people that no one knows, and you're given an opportunity in a big venue, a big arena to kind of show what you can do, and there's something there for you. And I think, like you say, Renato Sanchez, Robson Kanu, and there's others in the Iceland team. There's a defender for Iceland, his name skips me now, played awesome against England. Played awesome against France even though they conceded so many goals, played awesome. And that's what the Euros is about.
Dawson, I think it was.
And that's what the Euros is about, kind of moving on from there and creating star players. Not just the same big names, not just the same big teams. I want to see a new name on the trophy. I don't want a repeat of the, of France are going to dominate and now Spain are going to dominate and now Germany. No, let's mix it up a bit, and I think it's fantastic for the game. I think it helps the game.
And hats off to them.
Very, very briefly, gents, what was your highlight of the tournament then?
Robson Kanu's turn. It was Messi, wasn't it? It was Messi in disguise, obviously. It was Messi in disguise. That Robson Kanu turn against a good Belgian team. Highlight tournament.
And
I think dare I say it, I'd actually, as much as it was painful to watch, I thought the Iceland win against England, and I almost found myself standing up and doing the big old kind of thunder roar thing because it was so cool, wasn't it?
Best time ever.
It was awesome. Gents, thank you very much indeed. Pleasure to see you as always. That's it from this edition of Global Sports Report here on Horizon News from London. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.